13th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Hey, Phil is coming in. We're holding here in Bava Kama, Sadi Aleph on base.
Back to Bava Kama. We done with Bava
Yep.
Basra or what?
Bava Basra? Oh, we were doing Bava Basra?
No, Baba Basra, we were doing that with the Palayoas, Alan.
Right, so we're back to Bava Kama.
Yeah.
We're back in Bava Kama. We're racing back and forth all over Shah. Hashem. So now we are trying to find where we are. Anybody have any idea?
91A 4 for us. Is it,
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, for some reason my marker was not right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11 lines from the bottom. But I think it was Hakol, Lift, T, Kavada.
Right, quality code.
Everything depends on the victim's honor.
Wow, that's quite a symphony.
Yes, Vivaldi.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
Vivaldi's the composer, was.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
what's it called now? Yeah, everything depends on the victim's honor. The coal,
Right.
the fee, Cavado, etc.
Right. Okay, so what did we want to know about this? Oh, we were in the middle of the Rashi. We were doing the Rashi on Dibur Maskal Rashi Midak Amar Rabbi Kiva Afilu Lanim. I don't think that we finished it. I think we were in the middle of that Rashi. Or did we?
Oh, yes, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We finished it, but we didn't understand it, but that's a different story.
Oh, we read it. Yeah, we read it. Yes, of course. Okay. That's like yeah. Okay, so let's try to go back over this again, and we're not gonna, and this time we're gonna Be'ezus Hashem, we're gonna finish this Rashi. Okay. And no background. We're gonna do the background as we go. Unless somebody wants background.
So this Rashi is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 lines from the bottom.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's the big Rashi over here towards the bottom of the page, and it starts on the at the beginning of the line. Mida Ka'amar Reish Ayin is Rabbi Akiva Afilu Lanim.
Right, and in the art scroll they've got abbreviations to some of those. For Rabbi Akiva, there's an abbreviation, and yeah, okay, that's it. Fine.
Okay, fine. Okay, so do we want to read this over again? Does somebody want to read it over again, or should I just go through it?
I think we've read it twice. I think you should go through it.
Okay. Yitzcham Rabbi Kiva Filu Lanim. Says Rashi, Chazino, and we see the loy chayev latet leporeya rosh haisha ela arba mea zuz. We see that he is not machayev, does not obligate to the person who uncovered the head of the woman to give to her, except for 400 zuz. Tanakama, just like the Tanakama says. Now the he is referring to Rebbe Kiva. So, okay. So Rashi is saying over here that in fact.
Just a second. I just have to get something. That
1 second here. What?
yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's step one. Step one is, as Rashi's telling us, we see that Rebbe Kiva, even though he doesn't mention Rebbe Kiva over here, I believe he's talking about Rebbe Kiva. Because we had this case, I know we had it, and that was what everybody was saying, even though the guy did a test on the woman and showed that she nevertheless took off her covering in order to save the oil and things of that sort. So Rabbi Kiva said, nevertheless, you have to pay her what I paskined for you, and he paskined for this person that he has to pay this woman 400 zuz. That was the story, and the man said, "Oh, give me some time to give me some time in regard to this matter." Rabbi Kiva gave him the time, and then he did this in the time that Rabbi Kiva gave him. He concocted this scheme to try to disprove and to discount the woman's busha, so that to try to make it less than the amount that Rebbe Kiva originally told him. But Rebbe Kiva did tell him 400 zuz. So that's what Rashi is pointing out over here, that Rebbe Kiva also paskined in this case 400 zuz, just like the Tanakama paskined in the Mishnah. Okay, that's step one. Step two, says Rashi, Shma Mina, Tanakama, L'kula ka'amar. Says Rashi, we see from here, this is the proof that we have that the Tanakama, in saying what he says, Hakol k'fi kvodo, everything goes according to the honor of the victim. His intention was in order to be lenient. L'kula ka'amar. How so? Because in regard to a woman who was an ani, he would not, the Tanakama would not award kulei hai, that amounts. The cases that the Tanakama lists in the Mishnah are for a person who is not an ani, and those are the amounts. And for an ani, it would be less than this. And that's what we hear, says Rashi, based upon what we've seen so far. Uka'amar le Rebbe Kiva, and Rebbe Kiva in the Mishnah responds to the Tanakama, and he says, La'ani nami ya'avina hachi. Says Rebbe Kiva that I would give 400 zuz also to a poor woman, just like you, Tanakama, would give that to a woman who is not poor. De'i, continues Rashi, de'i sokedaito, hai shiura, the arbmeos, the Tanakama, apachot shibanim ka'amar. Says Rashi, because if you thought to say that the Tanakama's award of 400 zuz in the Mishnah was referring to also to a woman who was very poor, and this that the Tanakama said, everything according to the honor of the victim, the Tanakama intended that to be a stringency on the Meitav Tfei Lashirim, and that this award of 400 that the Tanakama says that was given to that should be given to a woman who had her hair covering removed would in fact be a greater award for an ashir, for a wealthy person, because that's the question over here in a nutshell. The question over here in a nutshell is like this. This that we see clearly black on white that the Tanakama says in the Mishnah that the award for a woman who has her hair covering removed is 400 zuz. The question is like this: is the Tanakama saying that in regard to who? Which type of a woman? Is he saying that in regard to all women? Is he saying it in regard to an aniyah? Is he saying it in regard also to an ashira? Who is he saying it in regard to? When he says in the Mishnah, everything is according to the kavod of the victim. So what does that mean now? Does that mean that this 400 figure is going to go, if it's an ashira? Does it mean that the 400 figure is going to go down if she's an aniyah? What does the Tanakama mean? That's the question of the Gemora. And now Rashi's told us that if you thought to say that the shear of 400 zuz of the Tanakama was talking about only a very poor woman, and this that we say a kolafi kvodo was to be lechumra, to be strict, to be machmir, kamar, and that would entail a meitav tfei lashirim. If the woman was a higher station, she was a wealthy woman, and therefore we're saying that would mean that there would be more shame, and therefore there would be it would be appropriate to give a higher reward than 400 of the Mishnah. If that would be what the Tanakama meant when he said hakol lefi kvodo, ukaosi Rebbe Kiva lemeimar, and then as a corollary to that, Rebbe Kiva would be coming along, and he would be saying in the Mishnah, "Afilu ani shebe Yisrael yitol yoter me'arba me'azuz." Right? In accord with that, Rebbe Kiva, he would be coming to say that no, even when he says, Rebbe says, even an ani shebe Yisrael, they're like Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Rebbe Kiva said. And according to that, they would take also more than 400 zuz. So if that would be so, amai loy mechayev le the pareya rosh ha'isha lemeitav tfei. Why did not Rebbe Akiva require this man in the case who was concocting this scheme to discredit the woman and try to get a lower amount than 400. Okay, all of that really is irrelevant completely into Rashi's comment over here. Just telling you that as if you remember the story that we learned about Rebbe Kiva. The award that Rebbe Kiva gave at the end of the day was 400 zuz. So if it would be the case that even for a poor woman, Rebbe Kiva would be coming to say, yes, she should be paid just like an Ashira who lost their money. Says Rashi, she would be Rebbe Kiva would have had to give even more than 400 zuz, just like the Tanakama, who would have given more than 400 zuz for the Ashira. The only reason that he gave 400 zuz was because he was talking about an Aniyah, a poor woman. But if it would be an Ashira, he would give even more, because Hakol Lefi Kvodo would be if we would say Rashi, it would be talking L'chumra. So Rashi proves that if it would be talking L'chumra, so then Rebbe Kiva would have had to give also a correspondingly more amount than 400 zuz, and we don't see that he did. We see that all he gave was 400. So if all we see that he gave was 400, and that the Tanakama gave for someone because they were poor, and he himself would give more than that if they were not poor. So then Rebbe Kiva, who says, "Oh, I regard the poor people just like everybody else, just like they are really well-to-do, but they lost their assets because they're Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. If so, then he would have also required more than 400, even for this woman who was poor, and we don't see that he did. So therefore, Rashi is saying that Rashi is dismissing the possibility that the Tanakama, when he was saying a kolik bikvodo, meant lechumra. No, it cannot be that it means lechumra. And how do we know? Like we just got through saying, contrasting the view of Rebbe Kiva. So that was quite a complicated Rashi, I would say. So,
I was trying.
any questions on the Rashi?
Yeah. All right. I hope I can read my shorthand. That's all.
Okay, well, you were taking notes. Very good.
Your shorthand with the short pencil.
Basically, the steps that Rashi took was as follows. Rashi said, step one, we see that Tanakama. Step one, we see that Rebbe Akiva gives the same award for the same offenses of taking off the hair covering of 400 zuz that the Tanakama did in the Mishnah, right? That's the step one. And then the step two is that Rashi says from here, the Gemora concludes that it must be that the Tanakama, when he said a kol l'kfi kvodo, in giving that award, it meant l'kula. It meant l'kula. That a poor woman would get even less than that, 400, because that was talking about a woman who was not poor. And then and that Rebbe Kiva comes along, and he's saying that no, a poor woman we would also give exactly like the woman who is not poor. We regard her equally. We regard her equally. She's on. Then that's why Rebbe Kiva awarded that poor woman a 400. The Tanakama, when he said hakol likvodo, he meant to be lenient. Lenient meaning that if the woman is poor, she's going to get less than 400. Why is that a leniency? It's a leniency for the assailant. That's who the leniency is for. The one who has to pay, it's a leniency for him. He's going to get off and with less than 400 for a poor woman. Rabbi Kiva was talking about a poor woman, and the Tanakama was talking not about a poor woman. And that's the proof that Rashi says the Gemora was adducing. And then the next step that Rashi took is to disprove the possibility that when the Mishnah says Hakol Kfodo, everything goes according to the honor of the victim, Rashi was coming to say, and don't say that it means that the Tanakama was coming to be strict in saying that, as though to say that the case that I mentioned over here, 400, would be, if it would be a wealthy woman, it would be even more than that. That would be being strict with the assailant. You have to pay even more than 400 if the woman was wealthy. And then Rashi went ahead and showed us how it cannot be that we can explain the words of the Tanakama in that way. Because says Rashi, if that would be the case, then Rabbi Kiva should have had to award even more than 400. Because Rabbi Kiva wants to award the amount for a poor woman the same as a woman who was not poor. If so, then he should have said that that woman should get even more. Because the Tanakama would be saying that if the woman was wealthy, she would get even more than 400. And we see that Rabbi Kiva doesn't award more than 400 in that case. So therefore, that's the Rashi's proof why the words of the Hakol Kfodo cannot be understood as being l'chumra. Okay. All right. We did it. We got 16 minutes left. Shall we go weiter? We're now up to Umaisa Be'echad Shapara Rosha Isha. Oh,
Who's that?
this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 lines from the bottom of the Amud, in the middle of the line. Now, in fact, over here, the Gemora is it's referring to the it's referring to the case with Rabbi Kiva, and where Rabbi Kiva required the man to give 400 zuz, and then the man said, "1 second, Rabbi, give me time." And Rabbi Kiva gave him time, and that's when he concocted his scheme. That was the case. That's the case that the Gemara is referring to over here.
I can't find it in on 91A4. So someone tell me where it is? No?
Oh, you want to know where the case with Rabbi Kiva was? In fact,
No. Where we're up to in the English.
oh, does anybody know? It should be the very last page on 91A.
That one, A4, right?
You're on the right column.
Yes.
It's where it says the Mishnah continues.
The right column, what?
Where it says the Mishnah continues.
Oh, right. Thank you. Yes. All right. I didn't look that far down. Thank you.
Oh. No, that case wasn't the whole case of the Mishnah, was it?
Do we do Tana Tashima?
It was. That's why I couldn't find it in the Gemora, because it's in the Mishnah. The whole story with Rebbe Kiva is in the Mishnah
Yes.
on 90b.
Mm-hmm.
So now the Gemora is going to be going into this Maisa with Rebbe Kiva. Maisa be'echad shepara rosha isha b'shuk bas lifnei Rebbe Kiva. Okay, so we know that story very well now. We're going to go now to the Gemora on it. So Roy, would you like to read for us?
So is that where I'm reading from, where I was just told? The Mishnah continues.
Yes.
Excuse me. This is better. Etc. There was an incident in which someone bared the head of a woman, etc. And Rabbi Akiva fined him 400 zuz. When the man asked Rabbi Akiva for time to raise the funds, Akiva granted his requests. This is what the Ashkal put in. So the Gemara asks, Umi Yabi Nan Zaman, and do we indeed time for an assailant to pay its victim? V'amar Rabbi Hanina, why Rabbi Hanina said, Ein Nasanin Zaman Lechavelov. We do not give time for injuries. We do not give time for injuries? Yes, it's like a question. The Gemara answers, Ki lo yahavinan le zaman. When do we not give the assailant time? The chavara, the chasaraya mimana, for an injury where he caused the victim loss of money. Aval lebusha, but for humiliation, delal chasraya mimana. Where did he not cause him to lose money? You have been on. We do give time.
Okay, so that's the Gemora's question over here. The Gemora is asking a question on the story in the Mishnah with Rebbe Kiva and this man. Rebbe Kiva said, "Pay up 400 zuz for removing this woman's head covering." And Rebbe and the man said, "Give me time. Give me time." Rebbe Kiva thought he meant he give me time to pay. That's a lot of money to pay in one time, And in Israel, you get tashlumim, right? Give me tashlumim, the guy is saying. So everybody knows what tashlumim are, right?
No.
Everybody? No, you don't know what that means?
So I've
Tashlumim?
heard it many once.
Okay. Tashlumim means that when somebody here in Eretz Yisrael goes to buy a refrigerator, let's say, and the refrigerator is what, 7,000 shekel, right? So they say that's the price, 7,000 shekel. So the guy says, 1 second, I want to pay tashlumim, and he says, oh, of course you could pay tashlumim. What does that mean? That means they say, you can pay in 12 installments.
Ah, that's right. Yes.
Tashlumim.
Yes.
So over here, I don't know if they're saying tashlumim, but they're saying, Rebbe Kiva is saying, I'll give you time to gather together the 400 zuz.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you time to do that. We understand that it's a lot of money to have to pay right away, and we'll give you time in order to gather that money, and then you'll give the money after whatever it is, certain
So
amount of time,
in order to pay all at once,
in order to pay off the amount. Yeah, right.
at once.
Right. So it's not exactly like tashlumim, but what the commonality is that with tashlumim, the store doesn't get the 7,000 zuz until the end of the year. The 7,000 shekel they don't get until the end of the year, after the guy's been paying whatever it is, 700 shekel every month. So he gets up after 12 months, he gets up to 7,000 shekel tashlumim. Okay. So over here, Rebbe Kiva gave him time. So the Gemora is asking the question over here. Wait a second. Is that what the Bezdin does? The Bezdin gives the assailant who caused injury to the victim. They're so understanding of the plight of this poor assailant, and they give him time in order to pay off the damage award that's been given. We know that Rabbi Hanina said, "Ein nosnin zman for chavalos." We don't give any time. We don't give any time in regard to matters of chavalos. Chavalos. What are chavalos? Chavalos are when the victim suffered a personal injury to his goof. He suffered personal injury to his goof, meaning an actual, he's going to be out of work. He's gonna be require medical attention. Perhaps it's permanent damage. And if so, then there'll be a nezek award as well for damages. He's now worth less, sold on the shuk. So in a case like that for chavala, we don't give any time at all. He's got to pay. He's got to pay. Got to pay right away. Ain't no man. We don't give any time. We don't give any time. So if so, well, why should we give time in this case over here? Why was Rebbe Kiva giving any time? On that, the Gemora answers, no, there's a difference. This case over here of removing the hair covering of the woman was a case where the woman suffered shame and embarrassment. Now, is she gonna lose any? She's gonna have any? She's going to have any loss of money over here? She's going to need to have doctor bills. She's going to lose work. She's going to be worth less in the shuk. No, there's no monetary loss over here. So in that case, the Gemora says we're going to make a distinction between a damage award that involves that's going to involve monetary loss, and this case of the award for the boshes, which does not involve any monetary loss. In that case, we do give time, just like we see that Rebbe Kiva gave time. Yeah, that's the point over here.
Mhm.
Okay. Now the Gemora is gonna. Now we got up to another section of the Gemora. Shamra omedes al Pesach chatzera. Oh, this is further on in the story, I believe.
Uh-huh.
he was right. Shamra Omedes al Pesach Katzar. He waited for her and was watching, monitoring her movements, and she's there standing in the entry of her courtyard, and that's when he did the whole scheme of his over here.
Being in the entrance of her courtyard is why do we know this? Why do we have to know this? Is she actually in private? Although,
That's a good question.
although people can see her. I mean, you're in your own doorway, framed by your doorway. So you're already in your private area, but people can still see you. So
Yeah, it's it's not like being inside the house, I don't think. And it would seem that that's my guess, but it's a good question.
mhm.
We'll have to see if the Gemora takes any note of this. Let's see what the Gemora says over here. Okay. So the Gemara quotes a Mishnah, Basanya. We don't have any time over here. It's already 12:29. Okay, so okay,
Continue tomorrow. Take care. Have a good
Yeah.
day.
okay, all the best.
Yes, dear.
Right, that's what that's the claim of this man was. This is the person that I'm gonna have to give 400 zuz to.
Yeah.
And Rabbi Kiva said, your argument is absolutely no argument. Just like somebody who injures himself, even though that's, so to speak, permissible, he's going to be exempt. But if somebody else injures him, they're obviously going to be liable for injuring him, for assaulting him. Okay, so then we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, everybody, have a good week.
All right, thank you. You
Good
too.
tov, all the best. Have a great day today.
Mm-hmm. And all right, and what's happening on Thursday? And we on Purim and that we're not. I assume we said something, didn't we, that we weren't going to meet? I think for
Well,
such a short day or something.
on Wednesday's Tinus Esther.
I can't hear you. Oh,
Wednesday
Can't hear
Tinus
you,
Esther, I
sorry.
think we'll be able to meet.
wait a minute. Sorry, what did you say?
Wednesday we can meet.
Wednesday's Tinus Esther, so that will be a day we'll meet. And as far as Thursday goes, Thursday is not our Purim,
No, it's just a
but
blank
it's
day.
yeah, it's like an Erev Yom Tov for us. So I'll be in touch. I'll let you know on that tomorrow.
Mhm.
What the schedule is going to be for Thursday.
Yeah. All right. Then
Yeah.
Friday we don't meet, obviously.
Yeah, Friday is Purim, so
Yeah.
not
No,
meeting on Purim.
No. We can learn on Purim, can't we? I mean, anything.
Yes, absolutely, sure.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
All
And the
right.
Megillah is the main thing to learn on Purim.
Right. Right.
If you want to learn something, it's a good time to learn the Megillah. But if you want to learn something else, you can do that too.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So we'll see you, message him tomorrow.
All the best.
All right.
Thank you. Bye
Right.
for now.
Have a good day.
Bye, Roy. Bye,